Welcome back to Socially Speaking. It's that time of year again, election time. Yes, DC is having its election. We're voting for at-large member of the council, some council member offices, our U.S. representative, our U.S. delegate. We're voting for our attorney general in the general election. Now in DC, I just want to let folks know that though we should be a state, and yes, I'm a strong proponent for statehood, we're not. And as such, we pass laws and we are subject to members of Congress to approve our laws once we pass them. Sort of like being colonized. Actually, it's a lot like being colonized. But aside from that, we do have autonomy within our district government at the local level, and so we have these elections as an activist, as a community organizer, as a DC resident, a citizen, a voter. I want to share with you my endorsements for this year's election. So, I want to move on to the race for the chairman of the council. So, in the primary election, our chairman, who's been in office for well over 20 years now, Phil Mendelssohn, he ran against a newcomer, Aaron Palmer, who I sat on the Advisory Neighborhood Commission in Ward 4, 4B in particular, and I found her to be a much better and responsive candidate. She ran and she made a great showing, but didn't win against Phil Mendelssohn. Phil Mendelssohn is running in this election, in the general election, against the Statehood Green, Darryl L.C. Moch, and a Republican, Nate DeRange. And he's been an interesting character to say the least. In that race, in the race for the chair, I'm endorsing Darryl L.C. Moch. I happen to know him personally, but also professionally. And Darryl Moch is one who pays attention to detail, but more importantly, he pays attention to the needs of the most vulnerable in our community. What I've learned about Phil Mendelssohn is, much like Anita Bonds, he's neglected the needs of tenants in a undertaking where I am organizing with tenants at Woodbury Village. And so he has failed to address their needs, even though he has adequate evidence, and he's even been there to see it for himself. That is not conducive to leadership going forward. It's just not. It is the way we do business here in DC. So, business as usual, not for this guy. So, I'm endorsing in the race for chairman, Darryl L.C. Moch.